Hello students, today we will start our second chapter of Geography NCERT book. The name of the chapter is Physical Features of India. The topics we will cover in this chapters are Physical Features of India, Theory of Plate Tectonics, Movement of Plates, Plate Boundaries, and Major Physiographic Division, in which we will have the Himalayan mountains, the northern plains, the peninsular plateau, the Indian desert, and the coastal plains and the islands. Now coming to the first topic, that is physical features of India, the introduction. Actually, India is a very vast country with varied landforms and physical features. It has plain lands in the northern plains and uneven terrain with mountains and valleys in the hilly areas. Vast desert in Rajasthan, and also it has the Deccan Plateau. India has different types of rocks. These rocks are ranging from very hard rocks like marble, as it is used for making Taj Mahal, granite, as well as very soft like soapstone, which is used for making talcum powder. Even the color of the soil varies from region to region. Now coming to theory of plate tectonics, no one knows how exactly India was formed. However, scientists had several theories which try to explain the process. One of such theory is known as theory of plate tectonics, which is very important. The plate tectonics is a scientific theory that describes the large scale motion of lithosphere. So here you can see in this picture, this earth is made up of many plates like Eurasian plate, you can say African plate, Indian Australian plate, we had South American plate, Caribbean plates, and so many. According to this theory, the earth crust is made up of 7 major and some minor plates. When the plates move, they cause disturbances in the continental crust. When the plates move, it leads to 3 things: folding, faulting, and volcanic activities. Now, the movements of the plate is classified into 3 types. These movements can be either of these 3. When 2 plates move towards each other in this form, with the help of arrows you can see, if the 2 plates move towards each other, they form a convergent boundary. Whereas when two plates move away from each other, they form a divergent boundary. In this second picture you can see they are moving away from each other. Third, when the 2 plates move horizontally past each other, they form a transform boundary. Like this you can see here in this picture, they are moving horizontally past each other. So they form a transform boundary. Now coming to Gondwana land. This is very important. What is actually the Gondwana land is and why it is so important. Gondwana land and originally consisted of a number of land masses including South America, Africa, Antarctica, Australia, and Indian subcontinent, all joined together. Some conventional currents split the crust into number of pieces, thus leading to the drifting of Indo-Australian plate after being separated from the Gondwana land towards north. The northward drift resulted in the collision of the plate with the much larger Eurasian plate. Here in this picture you can see 250 million years ago this land was like this. There was a single land mass. We called it as a Penguina. Second one, we have 200 million ago picture. This is your Gondwana land, and this upper portion is known as Laurasia. In third picture, Jurassic world you can call this type of thing, 145 million years ago. So you can see due to some shifting, this land is splitted into some parts. Around 65 million year ago, some more shifting, some more splitting were there, and you can see similar to present time. So this is the actual picture. The fifth one picture is related or similar to your present days. So here you can see India, right? Australia is here, Asia, Africa, South America and Northern America. Due to this collision, the sedimentary rocks which were accumulated in the geosynclines known as tethys were folded to form the mountain system of Western Asia and Himalayas. They were actually they were folded and they formed this mountain area, whatever you know by the name Himalaya. Okay, this uplift caused a depression in the north. This depression formed a basin that concealed the sediments of the river flowing from the mountains. So whatever the rivers are coming from the mountains, they were made due to the uplift depression in the north. The area in the north which is rich in fertile alluvial soil is called the northern plains of India. This particular soil, alluvial soil, is very fertile in nature. This is all because of the water or the river coming from the mountains. Different physical features of India formed at different times. The oldest physical feature of India is the Peninsular Plateau. It is composed of igneous and metamorphic rocks. The oldest feature, you can call it as a Peninsular Plateau, and it is composed of igneous and metamorphic rocks and has hills and wide valleys. The Himalayas are relatively younger physical feature. They consist of high peaks, deep valleys and rivers that are fast flowing. Now coming to major physiographic divisions, we have Himalayan mountains, northern plains, peninsular plateau, the Indian desert, coastal plains and the islands. Here in this map or the picture you can see this blue color shows you the Himalayan range. This green color is your northern plains. This is brown color shows your Deccan Plateau. Here we have western and eastern Ghats, and this yellow color shows you Indian desert. Now coming to Himalayan mountain. The Himalayas are fold mountains which cover the northern part of India. Here in this picture you can see all the things. They are geologically young as compared to the other mountain ranges. The Himalayan range is the highest in the most rugged mountain range in the world. It extends from river Indus in the west to the Brahmaputra in the east. So here we have river Indus. So from here it moves towards this particular area. Here we have river Brahmaputra, forming an arc of about 2400 kilometer. This arc is about 2400 kilometer. The width of this range varies from 400 kilometer here in the Kashmir to 150 kilometer in Arunachal Pradesh. Altitudes of the mountains vary more than western parts. The Himalaya consist of three parallel ranges, the Himadri, Himachal and Shivaliks. This light blue color shows you Himadri, or we can call it as a greater Himalaya. The middle one is the lesser Himalaya or the Himachal, and third one is your Shivaliks, or this you can call it as a Shivalik, right? Now coming to next slide. Here we can see Himadri or inner Himalayas. So this the northernmost range is known as the Greater Himalayas or Inner Himalayas or the Himadri. This particular area is actually known as Greater Himalayas, or you can call it as a Inner Himalaya or Himadri. It is the most continuous range consisting of loftiest peak with an average height of 6000 meter. The Greater Himalayan folds are asymmetrical in nature. It contains all the prominent Himalayan peaks like Mount Everest and Kanchenjunga. Mount Everest, the highest peak, it lies in Nepal. Its height is 8,848 meter. Whereas Kanchenjunga, the highest peak of the Himalayas in India, with a height of 8,598 meter. Great Himalayas are snow covered all the year round. So they are perennial, or we can call the all over the whole year it is covered with snow. The core of this part is composed of granite. This is very important. The core of this part is composed of granite. And second important thing is it is covered with snow throughout the year. And important peaks are, highest peaks are Mount Everest, which lies in Nepal, and Kanchenjunga, it lies in India. So here in this picture you can see all the things. Kanchenjunga is here, the Mount Everest, they are showing it like this. Now coming to second, the Himachal or the Lesser Himalayas. This range lies to the south of Himatri and forms the most rugged mountain system. It is composed of highly compressed rocks with height varying from 3,700 to 4,500 meters. The average width of this range of Himalaya is 50 km. It is composed of very important ranges like Pir Panjal, Dauladhar and Mahabharata ranges. The Pir Panjal range is the longest and most important range. It also contains some important valleys or the well-known hill stations like Kashmir, Kangra, Kullu, that is there in Himachal Pradesh, Mussoorie and Nainital is there in Uttarakhand. So here you can see that this upper portion is actually called as Inner Himalayas or Himatri. Towards south, what we are doing, we are moving towards south actually. The second portion just behind this Inner Himalayas, we have that Lesser Himalaya or Himachal, or whereas the last one is your Shivaliks. So here you can see Pir Panjal, Dauladhar, Mussoorie ranges and Mahabharat is here. So all the things you can see in this picture. Now the third one is your Shivalik range. The outermost range of Himalayas is called Shivaliks. They extend over a width of 10 to 15 km and have an altitude varying between 900 to 1100 meters. So this is the portion which covers your Shivalik. Shivalik hills are here. Okay, they are composed of coarse sediments brought down by rivers from the main Himalayan range. These valleys are covered with thick gravel and alluvial. The longitudinal valley lying between Lesser Himalaya and the Shivaliks are known as dunes like Dehradun, Kotli Dun and Patli Dun. So these are the three you can say the ranges you can found in the Himalayan region. Upper one is your Inner Himalaya, second one is your Lesser Himalaya and third one is your Shivaliks, right? Now there is one more division of Himalayas on the basis of region. So the Himalayas are also divided on the basis of regions from west to east. This demarcation is done by river valleys. We have almost 5 to 6 rivers. So Indus, Satluj, Kali, Tista and Dihang. So we can see it here. First is your Punjab Himalayas. In the west, the part of Himalayas lying between Indus and Satluj has been traditionally known as Punjab Himalayas. Second is your Kumaon Himalayas. The part of Himalayas lying between Satluj and Kali river is known as Kumaon Himalaya. Third, Nepal Himalayas. The part of Himalayas lying between Kali and Tista is known as Nepal Himalayas. And Assam Himalayas, the part of Himalayas lying between Tista and Dihang river is known as Assam Himalayas. This you can see in this picture. Okay, so this is your this is Indus river. So this is your you can call it as a Punjab Himalaya. It is between Indus and Satluj river. Second portion is your Kumaon Himalayas. It is between Satluj and Kali river. Third is your Nepal Himalayas. It is in between Kali river and Kosi, or you can we included actually Tista also. So what we did, we combined this Nepal Himalayas and Sikkim Himalayas, right? So from Tista to Dihang we have Assam Himalayas. So this Himalayan region is also divided on the basis of regional, or you can call them as on the basis of rivers also they are divided, right? So coming to this, the major under this major physiographic division, we completed our Himalayan mountains, the remaining the northern plains, the peninsular plateau, Indian desert, and coastal plains and the islands. These remaining we will do in part 2, right? Thank you all.